While I grew up with this stuff.
But you're the family straight arrow.
I've been around a lot of true believers, and I am not one, and it's probably not an accident that I became a journalist.
And yet, this stuff, the uncanny, the paranormal, you read about this stuff all the time. Why?
There are some serious questions, intellectual questions about what is real without throwing your intellect out the window, your rationality out the window. What do you make of that story without just saying, oh, that's impossible? There's no way. One of the most interesting people I talked to was Michael Shermer, the poster boy of skepticism.
Who's Michael Shermer?
He is a scientist, an atheist, a regular columnist for Scientific American. He is the founding publisher of Skeptic magazine. I mean, he's the guy you go to if you want to, have someone throw cold water on these crazy paranormal stories. The strange thing is, he has his own story.
Well, so my wife's from Cologne, Germany. She was raised by a single mom and her grandfather. And her grandfather had this radio, this little Philips transistor radio from 1977 or so. They used to listen to music together on. So it had meaningful meaning to her. And when he died, she got the little radio and kept it. And it stopped working, long ago. Anyway, when we met and fell in love and so on, she moved to Los Angeles to be with me. She shipped her belongings out ahead of time, including this radio. And I tried to get it working for her because I knew it was meaningful to her, and I couldn't put new batteries in and check the wires and slapped it on the table firmly and all the things you're supposed to do to get electronic equipment to work. And I couldn't, and so we gave up, and I just tossed it in the back of a drawer in the bedroom, and I didn't think about it for months. And then, on the day of our wedding, just at a particular moment when she was feeling rather sad that there was nobody there from her family and friends a long way from home, we heard music playing in the back of the house. It was like, what's that? And I thought, well, I must have left my iPhone on or my laptop with iTunes or maybe the next door neighbor's playing music. It was none of that. And then so we opened the drawer beneath the fax machine and there's the radio that's playing. It's playing this love song perfectly, perfectly tuned to a station. For us, particularly for my wife, this was a very deeply emotional experience. I mean, it meant something to her. It felt to her symbolically anyway, like her grandfather was there with us on the day of our wedding and make her feel good, and it did. It played the rest of the day and night. We, fell asleep listening to music on this little radio, and it went dead the next morning, and it's been dead ever since, even though I try to get it to work, and it still won't work. It's still dead.
So does Shermer think that was anything more than just a bizarre coincidence?
Not really, but it shook him.
It was like, whoa, man, okay, Shermer, come on, calm down. Calm, it's okay. Yeah, a little bit, but that also is insightful to me when I talk to other people that have had these experiences. It makes me more open to what they're talking about or more sympathetic. Like, yeah, I get it. I totally understand. Yeah, I had something similar.
He didn't have to write about this. And I mean, that's actually one of the things that I think is great about what he did is this goes against his sort of ideology of skepticism.
What does it mean? I don't know. I wrote about this in Scientific American just to say, what, weird things happen. My friends, not religious friends, but people like Deepak Chopra that think that there's a, sort of a quantum field that interconnects all of this in a quantum consciousness way. He thinks that's a sign, okay, maybe. But, again, why are the effects so weak? My wife's had numerous experiences in the last year and a half where she felt sad or was missing home and the radio didn't come on. How come?
But this was your wedding day.
Well, it was, yes.
I mean, there was something a little unusual because, there is what some people who study mystical experiences say is that the most profound experiences are often once in a lifetime. They're not replicable. There's heightened emotion. For whatever reason, there's something extraordinary happens and it'll never happen again.
That's possible. And it could be, that science is limited in the sense that we really, really need replicable, lab tested or some kind of way of getting at the experience again. And those kind of one-off events don't fit that. And it could be they are real and we just are limited in how we can study them.
Well, I don't think that science can answer the question of what's ultimately true about the supernatural. The nature of the supernatural is that it is beyond the natural, and I think science studies the natural.